Of course, it doesn't have to literally be a guy with a gun, although I have used that. But you can, yeah, you can play with it. I mean, it could be a dog with a bone, or it can be something that surprises the lead character and is a threat of some sort. So yeah, it's the principle is the same, just something surprising. Now, those big twisting, turning surprises, I think you want to dole out a little at a time, because you don't want to overwhelm the reader. But you want to choose your spots. That's another thing, is being strategic with these things. But that's all part of the craft.
Why do you think series characters are so popular right now? What is it that readers are looking for or responding to? Have any theories?
Well, I think perhaps a big part of it is the comfort of it, to know that if you latch on to a series character and then you read the next book in the series, you're going to get a similar kind of catharsis or experience by reading the book. And it becomes a bit of predictability, which ironically, we just talked about, surprising the reader. Well, that's within the confines of the book. But in terms of the reading experience, I think the readers want to repeat the same kind of experience they get when they've read previous books in that series. And a series character becomes a friend to them.
Yeah, it's a family.
Yeah, which reminds me of one of the one horror story every author responds to, and that's Stephen King's Misery.
Right.
and when the woman reads his new manuscript and he's killed off that beloved character, and she won't let him do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh, boy.
That's an attached reader. I want to talk just a second about your most recent novel, Your Son is Alive. What can you tell me about that?
I actually got this idea when I was doing a creativity exercise. I write about the creativity time for a writer in Plot and Structure and other books. I really advocate that, just to get the imagination rolling. So I was doing the first line game, which is a game that Dean Koontz used to do all the time and wrote about. So I just write down first lines and see, hey, maybe this will trigger something. And I found myself writing, Your Son is Alive, as if somebody had just said that. And I thought, who would say that and why? And so I just had that line, and it haunted me. And so I started to develop a scenario, and I came up with a couple whose son had been kidnapped as a child 15 years ago and never found. And they had dealt with this loss and, the consequences of it and so on. And then all of a sudden, here in the present day, the husband gets a note under the door that says, Your son is alive. And it begins this whole series of dominoes trying to figure out, is this someone who is just messing with them, or could this be true? Do we dare hope that it's true? And that was the start of it.
Sounds like a terrific book. I like that first line game. I think we should do that at WriterCon when it comes up on Labor Day weekend.
It's a lot of fun, even if you never use it. But I have found myself starting a lot of my books that way. And I wrote a novella called Framed, which actually people can get for free if they want. They can just go to my website and jamesscottbell.com and look for the free book. Framed began when I wrote this line: It's not every day you bleed to death. And I thought, how could anybody say that? What's going on? Well, that was the first line, and I just ended up writing a novella about it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Wow. Hey, Jim, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
It's been great, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks again to Jim for that terrific interview. Let me just say again, if you're interested in attending one of my Red Sneaker small group seminars, you can find out all about them on my website, which is williambernhardt.com. Click on Red Sneaker Writers and then scroll down to look at writing retreats, and you can see what's there. I would love to work with you one-on-one in a small group environment on your work in progress. if you're interested in attending WriterCon, and yeah, why wouldn't you be? I mean, James Scott Bell is going to be there for Pete's sake, and me and about 60 other fabulous writers and a bunch of agents. It is a terrific opportunity. I may be a little biased, but I think it's one of the best conferences around, if not the best. And if you're interested in that, go to that website, which is writercon.org. That's WRITER.org. ORG, and find out more about the conference. Until next time, keep writing, and remember, you cannot fail if you refuse to quit.